Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's great to have you all. My name is Laura, and today this is my final update, whatever you want to call it, for the Beginner's Luck Project Pan. Now, I want to start out with an apology to my viewers, but more importantly, the ladies. The ladies that I joined this collaboration with. They're absolutely lovely ladies, they really are. I went AWOL. I was away from YouTube for 2 months. I have done a video explaining this. But yeah, I haven't done updates for May or June. Now, if you're not aware, I do have a miscarriage anniversary in May. I've had a bit of a health scare involving needing surgery pretty soon. I've been referred for autism. My son was diagnosed at the beginning of the year, and more of my children will probably be assessed too. There was some serious issues with trolls on YouTube too. And I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of absolutely everything because I've done a video about it already. But I felt like I owed it to myself and to the other ladies in my group to bring you this update on time and finish this project. So guys, this is my update. If you don't want to hear me waffling, then click off. So, you know what I'm like. So guys, I want to just quickly run through where I was at with it all, and how I've done, and what I've learned from it, and my final thoughts. So I'm going to start out by saying that I didn't stop using products altogether. Throughout May, didn't really wear makeup very much. I in effect didn't look after myself quite the same way as I usually would throughout the month of May. So I didn't get so much use out of products in May. In terms of empties, I do have one more empty for you all. So I'm pleased to say that my bottle of perfume, albeit the tiniest drop, is now gone. So we have another empty. So guys, I would call this project a success, and I want to thank Nikki for asking me to join, and I want to thank the other 2 ladies for being so supportive and friendly and understanding with me not keeping up with the rest of them. So, the things that are left in my project were my Thankyou Bear face set. There are dips in those products. I started to get very good use out of that. So I did well with that. The eyeshadow palette I haven't touched since May. I haven't touched it at all. If you're not aware, I have a huge makeup collection, and I mean huge. Which I've not been willing to share with people because I know how people can be very opinionated about larger collections. And I don't want that for myself, because I am being referred to look at the possibility of me having Asperger's like my son. Okay? And I really don't feel at the moment I need that, so I'm not sharing my collection. But yes, as I say, it's a huge makeup collection, and I don't want to be using the same palette all the time. So, I mean, that in itself was a lesson for me. So, yeah, eyeshadow palettes going into projects, for me, arguably, isn't always going to be the right thing. And I might have to think more carefully about that in the future. My hand cream. There's barely any left. I did really well with that. I conquered not using hand cream, and the tube is nearly empty, albeit the tiniest little amount near the bottom. So yeah, I've been rolling it up and everything, so I've nearly finished that. So yeah, I finished the candle, I finished the perfume. Bear with. Right, okay guys, so I've just run off and got the other items. So yeah, the other item I couldn't remember was the nail polish. I've used it very seldom, but I found a way to use it. And once again, because I've not been well, I've not really been sticking at using nail polish properly either. So I'm not going to declutter it because I don't think that would be fair. I haven't been using it because I don't like it. I think had I been wearing nail polish the way I usually would, I may have got more use out of it, so I'm not going to declutter it. As I said, the hand cream is nearly gone. That is a real achievement for me. And the face palette, despite having a big collection and lots of other highlighters, blushes and bronzers to use, I really did make it my mission to do well with this. And I don't know how well you can see, but there's quite a big dip in this. There's a bit of a dip going in there, and I'm doing well with this as well. So you know, this is all I've been using most of the time, so it does take a lot of work with products like this to see any dips forming or even hitting pan. It's harder than you think. So I can take that from this, that, you know, don't think it's going to be an easy path choosing powders, because it's really not. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it went. I've learnt a lot. I've learnt that you need to think more carefully about what you choose. I feel like, for me personally, if I want to sum up how I feel about the products that I chose, hand cream was a great idea. If there's any products that I've not been using enough, it's really ideal to be putting those into a project pan. Powders are a lot harder to hit targets with than I thought they would be, so you've got to be prepared to really stick it out. The perfume, that was easy. Once I'd got past the fact that I should be wearing it more often because I've got it, that was quite an easy one. So although it took a while, obviously, but that was easy. The mindset for that was quite easy. Eyeshadow palettes, as I've already said, I'm just not sure I'm putting eyeshadow palettes in, and if I am, I need to think very carefully about my reasons and what it is I'm doing with the palette. My goal was actually just to be getting use out of the palette, so I did actually achieve that goal, but, you know, I then started to feel like I was having to use it too much, and I was getting bored of it, and wasn't then getting use of other products, and so on and so forth. The nail polish, I think I'd have to think carefully in future what sort of polish I go for. I had the right intentions with this one, but it just didn't work out for one reason or another. So guys, we all know that this was my first ever project pan, hence the reason it was called Beginner's Luck, I'm assuming. And if you're wondering whether I would do a project pan again, then the answer is yes. But it comes with a but. And that but is, I'm happy to do it again, and I'm happy to take part again. But I really do need to be a bit better prepared. Obviously, I now have a better understanding, but I need to be better prepared and choose my products a little bit more wisely than I did the first time. As I say, I had the right intentions and I did quite well considering. So I'm not disappointed with how it went. What I've learned is that there can be quite a varied range of reasons as to why people do project pans. For me, it was because I have obsessions. One of them is colour. And colour can involve my makeup, my clothes, my jewellery, wool for projects, shoes, anything that's colour orientated, I have a lot of, I become obsessed with, makeup being one of them. So for me, it was about using things, breaking a barrier and using things instead of being so happy that I've got certain things and being frightened that once I start them, they're then going to be gone. Just coming to realise that it's not ornaments. I've paid money for them. I should be using them. I broke that barrier, and that was quite a big thing. So getting back to where I was, with everybody having different reasons to project pan, my reasoning appears to be a lot different to most people's reasoning. So much so there is a bit of a negative in it. And I would have to really think about things before accepting again. And I will do other projects, of course I will. Now, to any of the ladies I was collaborating with, if you're watching this, I'll apologise in advance if I don't convey myself well enough, and I'm going to do my absolute best here. But the one thing I took from this, the biggest strong thing, is that there were times, despite how lovely all the ladies are, how welcoming they are, how supportive they are, and they really are lovely people, there were times where I felt quite isolated and quite alone, because there was a group chat, a separate group chat, which we all chose to be there, and that's absolutely fine for us to kind of talk about how we was doing. But there were several times where the conversation didn't suit me, and it left me feeling uncomfortable or isolated and unable to find that level of understanding with these other people, because their reasons just weren't the same as mine. Most people, it's because they've got a bigger collection and they want things out of their collection. With my obsessions and issues, I don't want things out of my collection. So in reality, it's, you know, before I did it, and you do have to realise, do you know what, these people are actually wanting to get rid of things. Oh my God, that's a bit odd. Why would you want to get rid of it? That's kind of where I stood at first. But actually, in the end, it's conversation is built on the reason why you do it. And so for most of the group, they were all talking between themselves about how they were doing and their thoughts, and one way or another, conversation felt that it was very sort of, oh, I'm getting rid of things, you know. Hope that makes sense. Whereas with me, I can't connect with that conversation because I don't want things out of my collection. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want them to be gone. I'm trying to with me it's breaking barriers and using things because I've got that huge collection. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, and it's not, you know, it's not intended to upset anyone, and by all means, you know, with all those ladies, they're, once again, I can't stress to you enough how amazing they are and how supportive they are. They're lovely. They've never said anything untoward or anything like that. It's just the conversation for me was a bit dead end, because, and I tried really hard too, and they did too. They knew that I had different reasons, so it's not, I didn't go into it blind, and they knew that, and they were never rude. It wasn't like that at all. I don't mean it like that. It was just, yeah, you can feel if you've got different reasons, and that's something I would say to anyone else that came to me and said, well, what about, do you think I should do it? Well, yes, but depend on the reasons. And I can tell you from my own personal experiences the positives and the negatives. And given the fact that I have borderline personality disorder, I did feel isolated at times. And that's not through any fault of the ladies at all. It's just the way it was. So I have to, in future, now be able to take from this experience to project it in future projects. And I will project pan. I'm sure I will link up with these ladies again because they're lovely and I'd love to. But yeah, and anyone watching, we need to bear in mind why we're doing it and why other people are doing it, and maybe come to the realisation a bit better before heading into it. I think I felt that it was going to be... I don't think I went into it with my eyes as open as they needed to be, because I was so headstrong about why I was doing it for me, why I wanted to be doing it. So, yeah. So, moving on. Am I about to start another project pan? At the moment, I'm not planning one. I know that some of the ladies would like to do another one, and I'm not saying there won't be another one between us. For now, there isn't. So very soon, there will be another type of project coming up from me, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I will be bringing another project. I want to continue with projecting. I'm taking it in an either direction, in a way that suits me quite well. And if you are another YouTuber and you see it and you want to join, feel free. And I am happy to do updates with people. That would be lovely. It'd be lovely to have some support, actually. But if it is the sort of thing that you think would be useful to you, then I'd love to have other people on board with me. So a big thank you from me, from the bottom of my heart, to Sparkly Princess Lynette, The Wacky World of Lottie, and Nikki Pearson, for being so patient with me through a tough time and supporting that I couldn't physically make the last 2 months updates. And a big apology to all of you. I did enjoy it. I did continue with those products throughout, even though there wasn't any updates. But yeah, in a way it's kind of quite sad that it's all drawn to an end now. It went very fast, I must admit. But yeah. Keep your eyes open for more future projects and other videos. And I will see you all again soon, guys. Take care of yourselves and enjoy this beautiful weather. Bye.